You know, this almost never happens. A prosecutor asks for murder charges to be dropped, but it did happen in the case of a local man accused of killing a person in Lockland. I-Team Chief Investigative Reporter Craig Cheatham has been looking into this, and Craig, you have exclusive information in this case, namely that they dropped the charges.
Right. It hasn't been reported yet that the prosecutor's office requested that the judge drop the charges because they felt like they couldn't prove the case without the cooperation of witnesses. So according to prosecuting attorney Joe Dieters, the charges were dismissed, and it's a direct result of witnesses not cooperating, not sharing what they saw at the scene of the murder.
I want to backpedal just a little bit. So charges are being dropped despite what evidence?
Well, there's quite a bit of evidence.
Okay.
Clearly, the prosecutor's office believes that they don't have enough evidence to convict without the witnesses. But in addition to that, they have 18 first responders identified as witnesses, including police officers. They've got surveillance video from 3 different locations. They apparently don't have the results yet from DNA testing, but they're doing that. And curiously, with the problems that they've experienced now with uncooperative witnesses, in the note, in the list of evidence to the defense attorney, one of the things that's mentioned is the identification of private witnesses is being withheld. And it says the state is not disclosing witnesses' names or addresses or any other evidence or information relating to those witnesses that could identify them, because doing so would subject them to intimidation or coercion, would compromise the safety of those witnesses and the investigation. And in talking with several residents today, people who spend a lot of time on that block where this murder occurred, there are many people who are afraid, and they don't want to take the risk that they feel they would have by testifying in a case like this.
Well, you certainly can't put yourself in the position of living in fear day to day, but on the other hand, for the family of the victim, the family that wants justice, what do you say to them about something like this? And what have they said to you?
Well, so there are people who clearly believe that when this type of a dismissal occurs, you're actually rewarding the people who are trying to intimidate witnesses.
And that's what I was getting at. What precedent does it set for justice?
You're basically giving them what they want. But you can't go forward ethically as a prosecuting attorney if you don't believe you have the evidence to win the case. You're not supposed to go forward. And so they're just doing what they're supposed to be doing if they believe they lack the evidence to get a conviction.
We have about 10 seconds. It's not over. This could be called back up, correct?
Right. The prosecuting attorney's office and police are discussing what needs to be done in order to refile the charges. So the case isn't over. These charges were dismissed, but charges could be refiled.
Certainly a case will follow.
Absolutely.
Craig Cheatham, thank you, as always.